Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. Now, the 2012 election is over, and half of the country is calling it the end of civilization as we know it. But let's be honest, that's what would have happened no matter who would have won the election. But that sounds like a good enough excuse for me to review a movie based around just that idea. Except with zombies. For those of you who haven't caught the connection just yet, today's film, I Am Omega, shares more than a few similarities to I Am Legend, and it should come as no surprise whatsoever that it just so happens to be because it's yet another Asylum film, with the studio doing what it does best, ripping off a high-profile movie to trick people into buying their low-budget straight-to-video works. Interestingly enough, this film also looks like it rips off the Source movie a lot more than most Asylum films do. I mean, Invasion of the Pod People and Alien vs. Hunter were ridiculous, but really had nothing to do with Invasion or Alien vs. Predator's respective plots. I Am Omega, however, has the post-apocalyptic lone male survivor, a world of zombies, a single woman throwing his monotonous existence into turmoil, and everything consists of varying shades of brown. That could simply be because the book that I Am Legend was based off of has been around since 1954, and there was a previous film adaptation, The Omega Man, in 1971. Nevertheless, let's take a look at I Am Omega and see if it has any original ideas in it. We open up to find a mother frantically running around getting everything she needs to leave, while her son sits nearby completely apathetic to the situation.
You got your shoes on?
If those flashes of horror are any indication, who gives a fuck about shoes? Not to mention, you can plainly see them on his feet without having to ask. They rush the 15-foot distance to get to the car, but of course, this doesn't go as planned.
Shit! Keys!
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have spent so long worrying about footwear and packing linens. Right on cue, a zombie attacks the car, but don't worry, Mommy will fight him off with her purse.
Away from my child!
Oof, taken out by the zombie pimp slap. The child does a logical thing at this point and leaves the car standing there like an idiot. It turns out this was a flashback by our lead, Renchard, played by Mark Dacascos. You may recognize this actor already. He's not the most prominent actor to have a place in an Asylum film, but he has been in a long-running television series.
Today's secret ingredient is...
Though I can't help but wonder, how did he remember this flashback when, according to the flashback, he wasn't there? Soon, his proximity alarms go off on top of it, so taking his robe and a couple weapons, we're treated to a scene of him establishing his badassness.
I would like to thank you with a gift.
Having taken out all the undead attackers with little difficulty, he disposes of the bodies via combustion. Yes, I'm surprised he did not first sprinkle a little soy and paprika on the bodies. Maybe a little oregano. Nevertheless, we take the time to get to know Renchard, living alone now that his wife and son are dead. Or perhaps he never knew them and is just using their house. He's not in the picture either. I'm also confused by the fact that there still appears to be working electricity, broadcasts, internet service. I mean, are the zombies still going to work or something? The radio gives us a tell-don't-show background on the zombies, stating that a flesh-eating bacteria was spreading and a remedy was being developed, but it merely stabilized the victims in a rotting state, which created the zombie virus. Oh, it wasn't the radio giving the backstory, it was his schizophrenia. After a nice hot cup of joe, Renchard checks his MacBook and ignores the incoming message because, it's not like we want to get this plot going just yet. and instead shows off his physical prowess for the camera, and his family video clips are spliced in, giving us our first real proof that he was the husband and father, and an honestly nice display of his failing sanity.
Another day. Another dollar.
Well, it's good to know that in case there's a zombie apocalypse, you still get paid for surviving until the end of the week. I wonder if you get time and a half for zombies killed on Sunday. Driving out, Mark seems to have a problem. Fortunately, while iPods evidently don't exist anymore, somehow an old cassette has survived the end of humanity, giving us our driving around to upbeat music scene.
When I get up and somewhere down, I can see a smile looking like a frown. Don't be breaking my heart in this circus blues. I can play it smart.
That lasts, what, 20 seconds?
Hey, Paul.
You look good today. Did you do something with your hair? I knew it. Mark gets gas and beer, paying the dead man, before being surprised by a zombie, who just so happens to be a ninja. Leaving the shop unsettled, the questions of who set the shop up, where the zombie went, and just what the hell happened in this scene will never be answered, so we move on to a beautiful scene where Mark finds a little bunny rabbit. Aww. Oh no! How will he survive this? Yeah, that'll do it. We finally reach a scene that will be important later as Mark tapes explosives around the natural gas lines, which evidently, like all the other infrastructure, are also still functional post-apocalypse. After a long day of bomb planting and zombie killing, he returns home to relax with a book and a meal.
Thank you for a wonderful meal.
Well, to be fair, it does look more appetizing than the crap they serve at McDonald's. His reading is interrupted, though, when it appears that now an incoming video feed request has presented itself. No time for that, though, as he's managed to catch a zombie in his industrial-sized bug zapper. Despite the fact that most zombie attacks have been at night, no, unlike I Am Legend, the Omega Man, or the I Am Legend novel, there is no nocturnal aspect to the undead. He comes back well in time to still catch the message, but he decides that he shouldn't bother advancing the plot just yet.
Shut up.
And I agree with him. For an Asylum film, this hasn't been half bad so far. Don't fuck it up now. Wait. No, don't do it! Fuck, you just got the plot moving! Written by the Asylum!
Hello?
Maybe Mark realizes how bad an idea that was as he cuts communications very quickly, and we're treated to a few more scenes of him struggling to maintain his sanity.
But there is one more ingredient to this battle. Our secret ingredient.
However, the next day, as he's catching up on the news... Hey, if he's still got power and the internet, I'm assuming that the newspaper is running just fine as well. His morning routine is interrupted by another Skype call.
Hello? Can you see me? Hello?
After giving the woman a chance to speak this time, we find out that she was heading for Antioch, a city of survivors, but got stranded in downtown Los Angeles when her group was attacked, and it would appear that Renchard is the only one she's been able to contact for help.
I can't help you. Sorry.
No, wait!
Yes! Mark says fuck you to the plot! Now we can go back to watching him go crazy and kill zombies. as he does when randomly attacked while setting up one of his explosives, resulting in him needing to disinfect immediately, but then he sees something.
Richard, please, he's gone! Please!
Not sure if the spinning is meant to be poetically disorienting, or if it's just the fact that the Asylum can't shoot a movie cohesively to save their life. But hey, they do know that for an epic scene, you must use Vasquez rocks. Okay, what kind of zombie-killing action do they have set in this location?
I'm pissing on you, world.
I'm pissing on you!
Okay! He didn't lose his mind. The director did! After we get through watching Mark give the best performance I've ever seen in an Asylum film, we're suddenly brought back to his home, where unfortunately two new characters make their appearance. Vincent, played by Jeff Mead, and Ryan Lloyd as Mike, whom form the brotherhood of guys who wear goggles on their foreheads, but never on their eyes.
We're thinking maybe you want to go along with us together. Rescue the girl. Know what I mean, compadre?
Not interested.
Yes, please, let him continue doing drugs, killing zombies, and urinating on landmarks. They mention that they know that he set up the entire city to explode, and inform him that Brianna happens to be immune to the zombie's disease, and therefore, if she dies, all hope of formulating a vaccine die with her.
She's a savior of mankind. Ain't that important enough?
Get out of here.
Yeah, fuck saving the world!
I'm pissing on you!
They do eventually get through to him, after the use of a rocket launcher and a crappy CGI explosion.
Fine.
Now we're making progress. Go get your gear. Let's get going.
You blew up his house. It kind of makes that a little... Nevertheless, they ride out and reach the sewer, pressing forward into the city, because Renchard advised them that the salt water that used to flow here left plenty of salt, which the zombies are not very keen of. Of course, just like any horror movie, monsters are always hungry for morons, and these two are like Taco Bell and KFC to them. When they get light back, it becomes evident that Mike was picked off very quickly, but Vincent won't leave his corpse behind, leaving Renchard to head off alone. Again. No, that's a good thing. Character interactions have never been the Asylum's strong suit. He sneaks around the city, observing that the zombies haven't quit their day jobs, before a horribly edited action sequence where we get shots of a completely different gun in a completely different area while Mark runs down an alley with his MP5, eventually reaching Brianna's blockade, where fortunately she doesn't kill him for bashing down the plywood, but does save his ass from a pursuer.
With an open heart and empty stomach.
She tries to strike up a conversation with him, but he responds to her as little as possible, eventually running out the clock.
We can't wait any longer.
Why?
Because the city's gonna blow up less than 24 hours from now.
Rather than taking heed with his warning and showing resolve, Brianna instead decides to portray the stereotypical sitcom wife, annoyed that she wasn't informed about this first thing.
What is that?
What?
You kind of remind me of somebody from a long time ago.
That might be because she's played by Jennifer Wiggins, the same actress who portrayed your wife in the prologue flashback you weren't in but somehow remember. They move into the city streets to escape, but keep up their sitcom couple antics even when dealing with zombies.
You can't shoot him this close. You get blood on you.
Yeah, I know.
All right. What did I just tell you?
It's like some mad scientist tried to cross the Walking Dead in Full House. The sun has already set by the time they reach a parking garage, and even though Renchard clearly explains that all the batteries will be dead, thus they need a stick shift to be able to start it, she insists that he just try a car she selects at complete random because she likes it.
I told you to stay with me.
Well, then we'd still be looking, wouldn't we?
It's a zombie sitcom! It's a goddamn zombie sitcom! But just as randomly as it starts up, it randomly dies, and having no roof leaves them completely open as zombies start closing in from all sides, thus leading to Mark breaking out the nunchucks on the zombies, while Brianna just drives off, leaving Mark to outrun the very athletic zombies. That's funny. You'd think the good runners would have avoided being turned into zombies. Oh well. She, of course, pulls up in the nick of time to save his ass, and they escape the parking lot, but slow down long enough for yet another zombie attack. So Richard has to carry Brianna as he flees the zombies, but lo and behold, Vincent just so happens to pull up right where they are to save the day.
Oh, what are you doing?
Shut up, bitch! Get on your knees! Damn, you're stubborn, boy!
Oh no! It turns out that Vincent had a secret, sinister intention! Which we could have figured out simply by the fact that his character's name is Vincent.
And if she does make it to Antioch, or they get her anywhere where they can make a cure, then we go back to the way it used to be, taking care of the sick, and the idiots, and the slackers.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned recently, it's that there really are people out there who would prefer a zombie apocalypse to a socialist nightmare. Furthermore, Vincent intends to kill Brianna, so he doesn't kill her or him on the spot, driving off with Brianna and leaving Renchard wounded in the road.
Brianna!
But wait, if he wanted her dead, wouldn't it have made more sense for him to not come and rescue her in the first place and just leave her ass in the city that he knew was set to blow? I've seen some characters do some convoluted things, but this? As the sun rises, a very bad-looking Renchard struggles to get his car started, but his resolve strengthens when he sees Vincent's van roll by.
The battle begins!
Because even though Vincent left long ago, somehow Renchard limped ahead of him at some point. And to top things off, Vincent still hasn't bothered killing Brianna yet. Instead, he intends to rape her. Thanks a bunch, Asylum. I can't make a goddamn joke here.
No!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on, Michael. Get you some, boy. Yeah, get your face in there, boy. Yeah. Oh, come on now, Mikey. Keep that face in the air.
Fast forward. Eventually, Renchard shows up, and although both his condition and the direction during the showdown are not very good, fortunately Brianna is left unattended long enough to give him the help he needs, turning the tide of the fight, leading to Vincent's death.
Oh my god. Renchard, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Honestly, he does look a lot better. I think they used some of the zombie makeup on him earlier. Brianna must really trust his word, too, as she lets him drive the two of them out of there, as we see the bombs count, up? Oh, wait, no, down, leading to our anticlimactic climax of shitty explosion effects. What, did you expect the Asylum to use more than $15 on special effects? Well, how the hell are they supposed to make a profit on the DVD sales, then? But the two of them survive, heading off together to Antioch as the story comes to a close. Yeah, the zombie apocalypse was worldwide, and you'd expect there to still be zombies left in the world after destroying Los Angeles, unless for some reason you think that Los Angeles is the entire world. Well, that was I Am Omega, and it's not nearly as good as it looked like it was going to be. What? I certainly know the Asylum movies are pretty bottom of the barrel, but honestly, this one surprised me. The first 40 minutes, with Renchard alone, struggling to survive against the undead and his waning sanity, worked pretty damn well. Mark Dacascos doesn't give the best performance of all time, but it's easily the best of any Asylum film I've seen so far. The big problems for this movie come when the plot comes a-knockin'. Aside from the fact that it's so forced, if you'd attempt to set up a D&D campaign like this, they'd call your game mastering amateurish. And while the villain's motivations might make sense on some level, His earlier actions to bring everyone to that point makes no sense at all. Likewise, the 3 other non-zombie actors give average Asylum performances, poorly written, annoying characters whom are simply there to fill roles for the story. The directing is also confusing. At times that actually helps it somehow, but especially in the second half, you realize it's just the usual Asylum chop job in the editing room. Overall, this movie almost came out good. A single character for a lot of it prevented having to rely on the Asylum's weak character dialogue writers. The aspect of insanity worked in favor of their choppy editing and direction, and Mark did a decent job. When the movie really starts is when the problems do too, but it still gets my highest rating of any Asylum film ever, at 3 zombie zappers out of 5. It's still the Asylum, and it's still very low quality, but this is the closest to greatness they've ever gotten. Barely average! Way to go, Asylum. You get a gold star. Thank you all for watching. I've been Shado, and remember, if you happen to find yourself in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, it could be worse. You could be in Norway.
When I get up and the sun goes down, I can see a smile looking like a frown. Don't be breaking my heart with this circus blues. I can play it smart, I can spin my dues. I with a little love blood, I can drip and fall. All the universe, where you don't see it all. I can go for a ride down a one-way street. I'm sliding upside down like a sack of beans, yeah. I'm changing lanes again. I'm totally insane. When I get hurt and my dick is hard, see my love is true. I got my rhythm too. Just a little chime and I'm on the top, but it's not enough. You can feel the stuff, but now that I'm going.
Shut up.